Hello and welcome to the AI Summit London. I'm Rui Chukit, and this morning I am very fortunate to be joined by Kanishka Narayan, the Minister of AI and Online Safety for the UK government. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Firstly, AI is on so many agendas up and down the country. Why is it so important that summits like this are taking place? But most importantly, that they're in London.
Yeah, well, look, I'm really excited to be at the AI Summit. You're the talk of the town all week. We've got thousands of people from right across the world here, and that reflects, I think, the deep strength that Britain has in AI. The reason this event is really critical is because it allows what I think is special about the UK's tech and AI ecosystem, which is the marriage of great strengths commercially with academic and research strengths, government being hopefully a good partner for all of those as well, and investors alongside that. And so we're at a very special moment in UK AI, and the summit here is a pretty key embodiment of that.
There are lots of leaderships, there's lots of entrepreneurs here. If you were to give them one takeaway from yourself today, what would that look? What would that be?
I think the big takeaway I'd give is, in the UK context, we're trying to build AI that spreads opportunity for all. And so there is no compromise, as far as I'm concerned, between chasing the frontier with ambition and aggression, but at the same time doing so by bringing everyone with us. And so in Britain, that's exactly what we're doing. We're chasing the frontier, as I say, but we're doing it by making sure that all of us right across the country have a role to play in it. I think companies, investors have a huge part to play in it, and I hope they'll feel that message.
And on a world stage, London is such an attraction for innovation within AI. For you, what does that success look like, and how important is that, to be part of that world stage in AI?
Yeah, so let me firstly underscore the point you make, which is that the UK, alongside the United States and China, is one of only $3 trillion tech ecosystems globally. In the last year, the full year that we had, the UK effectively cleaned up 50% or so of venture funding altogether in Europe. And so we are pretty much the only show in town when it comes to scale of AI ecosystems across Europe, and certainly globally as well, very much in the top 3. So that's the starting point. The reason it's important is because we know in the last wave of technology, the best way to drive prosperity in every part of the country, if you look at, say, the example of the United States, well, it was technology. I think we didn't do good enough on that wave. We have to do way better in the AI wave. That's what we're set on doing, to make sure that we are riding that in a way that drives prosperity and dignity for people in every part of the country.
And for yourself, what do you think with businesses nowadays, what do you think is the biggest misconception around AI?
The big thing I feel at the moment is that a lot of adoption that we see is still broad but shallow. And that's because people feel like an approach that focuses on tools is going to drive productivity, and is going to drive productivity quickly. And in doing so, either they see it and they try and do it, and they sort of become quite wary of it because they say, hey, we haven't had the kind of productivity, the return on investment so far. Part of the reason is because I think if we go deeper and engage workers, employees, and our workforce much more fundamentally, I think you'll get deep engagement as well as broad engagement. And if you get deep engagement, all of us reworking our day-to-day lives to fit it around some of the AI tools and agentic workflows, I think that's where the real prize is for us as a country. And so the biggest misconception, I think, is a chase of the thing that is quick rather than a chase of the thing that is deep and ultimately much more value adding.
And touching on those businesses, I wondered if you could share a little bit of colour around, some of the opportunities that the UK government are supporting and providing surrounding that.
So the big message is, on every lever that government has, we're pulling it to the max to support AI businesses here in this country. On capital, we are deploying a ton of money through the British Business Bank straight into equity for startups and scale-ups. We have launched a £500 million sovereign AI fund to add to that for companies with strategic importance for the company. So on capital, we're pulling a ton of levers. On compute, we're building over £1 billion of compute in this country, so that British startups, British researchers are first in the queue when it comes to accessing compute. In data, we're creating great data sets so that the next generation of the best AI companies are started and scaled here in the UK. On visas, for companies in the Sovereign AI Fund, we're doing 24-hour turnarounds on visas. This morning, the Chancellor announced that we're going to reimburse fees for top-tier talent globally when they come and work in UK AI companies as well. So capital, compute, data, visas, and underscoring all of that, the conversation at summits like this is all part of this cultural moment in the UK AI ecosystem, which I think is compelling.
Well, I'm grateful of your insight, and thank you very much for your time. And thank you for joining us in this session. My name's been Rui Chukit, and this has been the AI Summit London. Bye.